This is going to be tremendous.
It's fun already.
Well, Don, what do you think about life?
Not much.
Okay. Bromley Lowe was the Oriole bird, Edgar of Edgar Allan and Poe, and Bromley has now come up with a character called YoJo that he has taken into schools. He did 200 assemblies around this country last year. Welcome to the Eyewitness News Morning Edition. A good friend from the old days of doing Ravens Zone. Come on out.
Hi there.
And a great friend to a lot of folks who've been at Baltimore. Baseball and football.
That was the best entrance we've ever had.
Excellent.
Best entrance
Gotta be
we've
a
ever
big
had.
entrance.
Hey, listen, come on in, Cliff. Before we get into YoJo, because what you're doing is really spectacular. 2131, you were the Oriole bird.
I was. That was probably the absolute peak of my career, was to be part of 2131.
Real. What's your big memory from that night?
And it really had little to do with mascotting and more to do with just the whole surrealness of it, that you knew you were a part of probably one of the most historic moments in baseball. And I was standing behind Cal while he was making his speech. It was like Joe DiMaggio was there,
Yeah, wow.
and Hank Aaron was there, and then there was me inside a bird costume, and I'm like, whoa, this is a little overwhelming.
Marty pointed out the guys on ESPN got an Emmy for not saying anything. Did you tone down the bird that night?
You don't even want to touch it. You know,
Okay.
there's points in sports mascotting where you want to make a big scene, and then there's others where you just leave it go.
Good thinking.
You know, I
Yeah.
guess that's
Good thinking.
whether it's the Philly Fanatic. You were saying one of your best friends was the guy who started the Philly Fanatic. There's now a mascot Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Which must be a
Ted
fun place.
Gianolis, who did the chicken, I think, knew when to tone it down.
Yeah. You don't want to really upstage the event itself. You want to enhance it. Yes, you do want to cause a scene sometimes, but there are points when you just, you know, you're being a sports mascot, you're a sideshow. You're not necessarily the show.
And this is you, right?
This is YoJo. YoJo is the show.
And YoJo's a pretty big deal. I'll tell you why. Mascotting, all the kids love the Oriole bird. They love Edgar Allan and Poe.
Right.
And you've now got a mascot. You did 200 school programs
we
last
booked
year.
over 200 shows last
Wow.
year, all up and down the East Coast. We went to the Boston area. We went down to Virginia Beach. We did a lot of Baltimore schools. A lot of fun.
Which is a very, by the way, lucrative thing. There's a whole circuit of folks who do school assemblies.
A lot of call for it, yeah.
Yeah, there's a tremendous cost. So you have actually taken mascotting.
Right, and this is very unique because there's a lot of assembly programs out there. There's magicians, there's musicians. There's not really a mascot show. What I've done basically, my wife is an assistant principal at a PG County school in Beltsville, Maryland, and we kind of work together on getting educational content, making sure that what we're doing is not just fun and games, but pertinent to their curriculum. And then I, create all the funny stuff. We have a great 45-minute script, and we have great themes such as reading motivation, health and fitness, and the one that strikes a chord in a lot of educators deals with test-taking preparation.
Okay. Why YoJo? I'm just curious about the name.
Well, YoJo means absolutely nothing in any language. The character a long, long time ago used to be called Fuzzball. Do you know do you know anything about trademark law? Neither did Fuzzball. Okay.
I see. Okay.
So we just came up, YoJo works, it fits. It's great.
It's a great idea.
And you know, and it really is. By the way, you have a great website, YoJo.com. If you happen to book assemblies for your school locally, you know the routine, how to get in touch. It's really neat to catch up with you.
Thanks.
Particularly after the 21-31 thing. Got football season starting.
Oh, yeah.
Ravens on JC Sunday night. Super Bowl.
Perfect. I mean, again, Super Bowl 35, right in Tampa, right on the field, confetti all over my beak. You felt like you were at the center of the universe, That was, I mean, those two events that we just described right there were probably the top two highlights of my sports mascotting career.
It's just really interesting catching up with you. It really, really honest. And I'm glad to see that you're doing so well.
It's fun. I mean, I'm, doing something very silly for a living, and it's great that I can make an income out of it.
But it's not silly. It's very important, particularly what you just said, testing.
Oh, well, yeah. The month before testing, we book over 50 shows in February, and they're all MSA-related shows.
Wow.
That's, everybody stresses over these tests. Kids do, faculty does.
Parents do.
Parents do as well. But the humor in the show kind of puts them at ease. And we also really go over a lot of specifics. It's not just, you know, blah, da, 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 but we cover stuff like multiple choice strategies,
Sure.
writing strategies, and everything.
Do us a big favor before we leave. The
Okay.
Oriole bird was famous because the Oriole bird never speaks. Most mascots don't. But you would whistle at people.
Okay.
There, I recognize
That's it.
It's kind of like a Harpo Marx R2D2 type of.
Unbelievable. There you are.
There you go.
Outstanding.
In mufti, as we say.
Mufti.
By the way, is this coming black?
Custom black, yeah.
You know, I'm standing out there doing the weather. I'm talking about these tropical storms. I'm thinking to myself, if they could only see my feet, what credibility this would be. A coffee with mug. There you go. Give
Thank
that
you
one a
so
whistle.
much.
Outstanding. Bromley, thanks for being with us, pal.
Sure, absolutely.
All right.